What's up, everybody? This is Jose with Oakland Latinos United, live with Jay, number 71 on here, kicking back with y'all. Hopefully, everybody is getting comfortable, you know. Oh, hear my echo. Hopefully, everyone's getting comfortable. Hopefully, you just took a shit. Hopefully, you use the bathroom and you can come and watch the live. I'm gonna be having Martin 9400 from East Oakland, from the Deep East Oakland today. Everybody out here tuning in for live with Jay number 71, and hopefully you guys enjoy today's live. I've never talked to Martin 9400. I seen him on other lives, and we've talked, on the on on comments and stuff in different channels, and he reached out to me and asked me if it was cool, we can maybe do a little dialogue, and I'm like, hell yeah, anytime. So without further ado, let's the reason I did it early today was because he said he could only do it early, so I said, hey, it's all good, you feel me? So if Mark 9400's in the building, there's a link up with me, boy, and we'll get it cracking. So how's everybody doing? I see Shortcuts in here, Esepeda, Martin 9400, looks like he's already here. And Christian Cruz is on here. So hopefully everybody's doing good. You know what I mean? Nice warm day today in the Bay. It wasn't that hot where I live, but, it's warm. It's nice actually outside right now. But yeah, so what's up with it? If Martin 9400 is on there, just tap in. There's a link right there. And yeah, so what's up with everybody? How's everybody doing? How was your Tuesday? Today was my day off. I didn't work today, just kick back at the house. You know what I mean? Relax today. Today is my day to just chill, relax. You feel me? Here's Martin 9400. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Jose?
How you doing, carnal?
Chilling, chilling, chilling.
Man, the first time we ever talked, man.
Oh, I know. Es que I'm telling you, like, every time you do your lives, you do them hella late. Like, I'm already, calling it a night. Y de vez en cuando, I'll just turn around and, you know, find any excuse to these que go to the bathroom or go get a drink of water. Then I'll just start checking you out and, I'll put my little 2 cents in the comments and shit.
Yeah. Nah,
You know,
I guess I go at the time I usually go on because no one else is live around that time, like around 11.
yeah,
Everyone's kind of getting off. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll
yeah,
get on then. That's mainly it. But I don't
yeah,
mind doing them earlier. It doesn't bother me.
yeah. No, and I mean I get it because you got to work around your own schedule. It's whenever it's convenient for you. You know what I mean? I mean
Yeah.
that's cool that you take the viewers into consideration, but at the same time, it's your show, so it's whenever Jose can do it, not when people can tune in.
Yeah. I mean, I could do them earlier sometimes, but like I said, sometimes Gunner be live, and then this guy be live, and that guy be live, and it's like I don't want to take away from no one. I'd rather go at a time when nobody's live like that. Everyone could come in. You feel me? But yeah, man. Talk about yourself a little bit. You know what I mean? Give a little brief introduction, at least for those who may not know.
So
People know me, but
basically, yeah. Not hear you. So pretty much, I'm from Oakland, just like Jose. I grew up on the other side of town. The '90s over here by the San Leandro border. You know what I mean? Basically, what's pretty much considered the black side of town. You
yeah.
know what I mean? You
And
know,
I'm curious because I didn't grow up in the deep. I mean, if you know my story, I grew up all over the Bay, but in my time in Oakland, it was always like the Fruitvale area for me. You know what I
yeah,
mean? That's where my connections were always at. That's where my people were always at. And whenever I'm in the town, that's where I'm always at. The
for
only
sure.
time we really went to the deep was like to go to the Eastmont Mall or to go
Ace
to
games.
Durant Square or something
Yeah,
like that, bro. Or to
yeah,
the
most definitely.
sideshow,
Yeah.
when
Well,
we
I
were
mean,
young.
like us growing up, you know, pretty much, anytime my parents wanted to do some type of shopping, got to go hit up Los Mexicanos,
Yeah,
La Finca, La Borinqueña. So, we're pretty familiar with that side of town. Every time there was a wedding, a quinceañera or something, all the salones were on that side of town.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
we're pretty familiar with that area. Plus, all my older brothers and sisters and cousins and whatnot. They all went to Calvin Simmons in Fremont, and
Yeah.
before it was Calvin Simmons, it was James Hamilton.
Hamilton, yeah, I remember that.
So all my family, they pretty much grew up, with people on that side of town, going to school with them. You know, had all kinds of friends, from the 30s, from Fruitville. So we were no stranger to that side of town.
Oh yeah, and I mean I'm very familiar with the deep, bro.
Yeah.
You probably didn't know this. My family owned a restaurant for about 3 years in the late '80s, bro. It was called the Giant Burrito. It was right by the Doggy Diner on 98th and East 14th, like
Oh
a little
shit.
below from it. I don't know if you remember it, but it was around the time
Um.
when they opened up the McDonald's across the
Yeah, yeah,
street.
yeah, yeah. Well, see, I remember the Doggy Diner. I mean, I was a little kid, of course, and I remember, when they first built the McDonald's because that used to be a gas station before
I think
that.
I remember that. I think I
y-
remember that.
You know, but growing up, first generation Mexican American, you know what I mean. We didn't have too much money to be eating out, so even if there was a restaurant, I mean, hell, I could tell you like this: I walked by Doggy Diner probably 100 times, never got so much as a drink of water from there. You
I feel
know,
you. Yeah, no, we did have a little restaurant there, bro. It's called a Giant Burrito. My dad, I don't know the whole story because I was a little kid. They
yeah,
closed it, and I don't know por qué no le siguieron, bro. My
yeah.
dad fucked up on that one. And you want to hear something weird, bro? You
What's up?
want to hear a weird ass story?
I
My
bet.
dad, I didn't realize my dad passed away today, bro. Today's the
Oh wow,
anniversary,
what are the
and
odds?
and
R.I.P. to your dad.
I had a dream last night, bro, and I didn't know why. It involved my mom and dad. They're both dead,
Yeah.
and it was about death. And then this morning, my sister told me, "Hey, today's the day Dad died." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Oh shit!" I
Wow.
just had a weird ass dream about Dad and death.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a sign, I guess.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. But
That's like I remember. There's a community center right there on Seminary and East 14th,
oh
right
yeah,
across
yeah,
the street
yeah,
from Torero.
yeah.
Uh,
I know what you're talking about.
I worked there for about a year. Basically, we tore it down and rebuilt it. And I remember this one time. Ahora que dices about your dad. I'm out there in front doing. I can't even remember what. And this man walks past, and I swear to God, looked dead on my dad, and I'm like, "What the hell?" Me quedé like stuck.
Yeah,
And these fools are like calling me to go help them with something. I'm just sitting there like, the fuck am I tripping? You know what I mean? Am I seeing things? Am I just imagining stuff in my own head? And finally I go over there, they're like, what the fuck's up with you? And I'm like, dude, I swear to God, I think I just see my dad. And they're like, ah, ¿y por qué no le hablaste? I'm like, motherfucker, he's dead. You
yeah,
know? So yeah,
yeah, man.
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's a trip. That having that dream tonight, I was like, "What the hell?" Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess sometimes they talk to you from beyond the grave. I guess.
definitely. Plus, I heard that there's a book that tells you how to interpret dreams.
Uh huh.
Like, if you saw something in a dream, this is what it meant. It means this, it means that. And it's like everything, if you believe it's real to you, and if you don't, you just look at it like superstition,
Yeah, yeah, for
you
sure.
know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not much of a religious person, bro. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm a little spiritual, but who knows, bro? I can't say what's real and what's not real. I just can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious. So being because we agreed to come on here to talk about Chicano, being raza Chicano, Mexicano,
Yeah.
Latino, and not just like some of the discrimination that happens against us right now, some of the things going on with American Cholo and some of the censorship it seems like is going on.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just curious because we talk a lot about in Oakland, like if you ever hear a lot of people always say in LA, black and brown relationships are horrible, but in Oakland they're a lot better.
Yeah.
And I agree that that is true for the most part, but there's definitely were discrimination in Oakland as well, and we know this. Those of us
Yeah.
who grew up there. But you were in like we say in Spanish, la mera mata,
Yeah.
where all the morenos were at, the blacks, the Africanos. So, what
Yeah.
was it like growing up? And I'm assuming we're about the same age. I'm 44. So
I just turned 46, so I got you by a couple of years.
okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
I más o menos vamos.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I know Damos. Yeah. Yeah.
so you grew up basically almost the same era I grew up. And
Yeah, for
I
sure.
remember, what I remember, at least in the '80s and early
Yeah.
'90s. uh Seminary was always kind of like the dividing point. Like if you went from seminary up to '60s, it became more black, and if you went
Yeah.
from seminary down to the '50s, it became more raza. You
Yeah.
know, so I mean, and I remember when you would go up to like '98 and the '80s and all those areas, bro. It seemed like it was all black. You didn't see very much Marasa except maybe like the '96 locals, which I
Yeah.
remember those guys, and the '98 locals, and wasn't there something called VHT or something like that back then?
Uh, I never heard of that.
Something
Like,
like that, or JBO or something like that. I remember hearing something about something like that. But
no.
either way,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
those that was like the only raza you really seen in the deep were like
Yeah.
the homies from the '90s. But for the most part, it was a black area. So what was it like growing up, raza? I'm not sure if you're Chicano or if you're
Yeah.
Mexicano.
Well, I'm first generation Mexican American, but I've
Okay,
always identified as Mexican because at the end of the day, the güeros and the morenos, they don't see a difference.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
yeah,
I mean? To them, you're Mexican, even if you're not Mexican. You know, a
yeah.
lot of them, don't know how to differentiate. Central
I feel you.
America, it's three different countries, but they think it's all, oh, well, if you're brown, you're Mexican, which I'm sure upsets a lot of people. You
Yeah.
know, but
Oh yeah.
but basically, so like
So
me personally,
what
on that.
was it like growing up in the '80s and early '90s in that area, specifically at that time?
So basically, when you're a little kid, you don't really pick up on things. You just take stuff for granted. This is how it is. Like I grew up on a street, basically right off of East 14th. The next 2 blocks over, there was only two Mexican families. Everybody else was black. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody.
Everybody, yeah,
Now, we never, growing up, we never really had issues with our neighbors per se because a lot of them had kids that were my brothers and sisters ages, so they all interacted with each other, and they for the most part they got along. you
yeah,
know when I was going to like elementary and stuff, like you didn't really see any white kids in school. And it's funny looking back, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm pretty light skinned or whatever. And I remember being called a honky by the black kids literally, and I'm like, okay, honky, okay, I
yeah,
guess. Never being offended because it meant nothing to me, you know what I mean? Because I knew what it meant. It's like, okay, you're calling me white, I'm not white, I could care less, you
yeah.
know and basically everyone that was raza at the time were almost exclusively first generation, or they were also immigrants themselves. So it was a little, at least at school, it was a tight knit little Spanish speaking community. We all hung out with each other. We all played with each other, and we
What
interacted with
school
the
did
with.
you go to? Did you go to Highland?
So I went to Highland for a couple of years. Then I ended
Okay,
up moving to Stonehurst, which was closer to my house.
that's
You know,
Stonestown, right? No,
Stone
Stone
City.
City. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's right off of 103rd and G, and it
And,
basically ends right there on 105th.
and these fools on here don't be knowing. By Highland, there's a housing project called Tasafaranga, right? On
Be honest
85th.
with you, okay, I know que está allí, but I'll be honest with you, I don't even remember the name of that place. But
Yes,
I know exactly what you're talking about. It
I
used to
always
be
screw with
Rudsdale,
people's
right there on
heads.
Rudsdale.
Yeah, I always screw with people's heads because they're like, I never heard of those projects called that. I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, those projects are called that. It's a
Yeah.
weird ass name.
Yeah, everyone used to just call it Rudsdale because that's the name of the street.
Oh yeah, by Rutsdale. Yeah, yeah, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
they knocked them down and they built them back all nice, just like they did, the 6-9 Village and the 65th Village and the
yeah,
Acorn
yeah,
Village. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, I remember BT used to have that program, American Gangster,
Oh
and I
yeah,
remember they did an episode about Felix Mitchell, and fucking Yuckmouth's on there, and he's talking about how it used to be growing up, and you're looking at these really nice looking townhouses, and you're like, fuck, if that's the ghetto, I want to live there.
yeah.
But
And
it's because it got knocked down and rebuilt.
you and me remember the old school. I remember the
Oh
original
yeah,
6-9 and the old 6-5 and all that stuff.
yeah, nah, most definitely.
Yeah, I remember
You
all that
know,
shit. Like if you were Rasa, you definitely didn't go into those areas.
yeah,
Yeah, man. But
no,
But again, like at school, was there racial tension at the school? Or was everyone cool with each other?
So in elementary, everything was cool. Everybody was the best of friends, and you don't really start seeing racism or segregation till you hit middle school. That's when you start seeing everybody go into their particular group. You know, the black kids over here and these kids over there. And so I went to James Madison, which is in Sobrani Park, for a year,
Okay.
and there I wouldn't really consider it racism. I mean, maybe I was targeted because I was Mexican, but I just took it like big kids picking on the little kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't take it like, oh, I mean, were they black? Yeah, of course. But I never took it like, oh, it's because I'm this and you're something else.
Yeah.
Where it was full blown racism was when I started going to middle school, ironically, in my own neighborhood, which was at Elmhurst, which is right there
Okay.
on 98th.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's when it really got cracking because this was a school that probably had like 400 or 500 kids, and like 50 of them were Latinos. And basically, you had like, I remember this one time, I still remember the shit to this day. So I got my little girlfriend, this little Puerto Rican chick, and I'm over there by behind the gym over there trying to get my little freak on, cop a feel, you know what I mean? Get a
Yeah.
little kiss, whatever. And so these three black kids, right? They walk past me, and one of these idiots punches me in the face.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Now, see, here's the catch. So my dad grew up, I grew up a boxing fan. My dad loved boxing. I grew up in, Julio Cesar Chavez's prime.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So one of my brothers, when I was a kid, he sold weed, and he told me one day, he's like, what do you want to get into? You want to get into boxing? You want to get into karate? Because Karate Kid was big in the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, boy, Julio Cesar Chavez is the man. I want to do boxing. So I went to this boxing gym that's right there, kind of behind where Fandango used to be, right there off of
Okay. Yeah.
98th to San
Yeah.
Leandro.
Yeah.
Yeah, called East Oakland Boxing Association, right?
I think I
And
remember that vaguely. Vaguely. I think I
yeah,
remember it.
so I went there for like 7 years. You know what I mean? And growing up in a predominantly black neighborhood, I can assure you that shit came in handy.
I feel you. I feel it.
So when this black dude socks me, I turn around. Man, I beat the dog shit out of this kid. I don't even think he swung back once. And the funny thing about it was, it didn't. He didn't have a look of, oh, you're hurting me. He had a look of shock, like, what's happening? Like, you're not supposed to be hitting me back or something. I'm like, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
ain't going down like that. And see, the cold part about that school was they were constantly jumping the Latinos,
Yeah.
and it was never a 2-on-1. You were lucky if it was a 3-on-1, typically a 5-on-1. Now,
Yeah.
luckily, in middle school, 12, 13 years old, you're not that big. So they're not that big, but you're
Yeah.
still on the losing end of, a fight. But where it really got scandalous was when they would bring their big brothers from high school, from Castlemont.
Okay. Yeah.
And I remember in particular, there was this one incident. It looked like a protest. They literally took over all of 98th right there in front of the school, right there off of Cherry, coming towards East 14th.
Yeah. I know what
And
you're talking about. Yeah.
and so I'm with like 8 to 10 of my friends, and everybody's like, shit, what do we do? So everybody splits up because it's literally 8 against 60 or close to it. Like,
Hey,
I kid you not.
damn.
So you'd see one of your friends over here getting attacked by 6, 7 kids. You try to run over there, try to get them off of them. Next thing you know, it's 10, 15 on them. You're like, oh shit, it's too late. I'm just going to get fucked up if I try to help them. So, let me go try to help this guy. Oops, too late and too late and too late,
Yeah. Yeah.
And that school was pretty much like that until this guy from El Salvador. So he came during, the 80s, after the guerrilla, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? The Escuadrón de la Muerte and all that shit was going
Yeah.
down in El Salvador. So this guy, he's seen some shit. So what happens? The Morenos jump him. So what does he do the next day? He came with a 30-30 rifle. And he's literally chasing these fools, like shooting, like the movies.
Yeah.
And this is the mid 80s. This is probably like 86, 87, maybe. And you see this kid banging on the door. Let me in, let me in. Bam. Got him right there where he stood.
Damn.
And after that, no more jumping.
Damn.
You know, you
That
know.
reminds me of a story my dad told me, bro. Because my dad, I don't know if you knew this, my dad's from El Salvador, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm half Salvadorian and Mexican. My dad lived in the deep. Oh, what's up, C Dog? My dad lived in the deep when he was younger for a little
yeah,
bit. He said that, and my dad's dead, so who gives a
yeah,
fuck?
yeah,
I tell the story now. Um, he says some morenos jumped him and busted up his car in the deep on 82nd Avenue. He
yeah.
said he came back the next day. My dad being an ex-military from El Salvador, and he cocked those morenos in their car, and he said he shot up their car, bro, with a rifle. He says
I
he doesn't
believe it.
know how, but he says he didn't kill none of them, bro. He says he
God
doesn't.
was
He
with
said
them.
it's short of a miracle, but he
God
says
was
them
with them.
dudes. He says them dudes never fucked with him again.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah. And that really happened on 82nd Avenue. This was probably before I was born, like in the early 70s, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my dad came before the war to the Bay Area.
Órale.
Yeah, so my dad's one of the older generation Salvador. But yeah, that's pretty crazy, bro. So no more jumping. So where'd you go to high school at?
So basically, well, part of what was going on led me to getting kicked out of Oakland Public Schools because my brother sold weed. He had a pistol at the house. I took the pistol. I was like, you know what? I'm not playing with these fools because I had an incident where I must have been like in the seventh grade. And me and my friends, we would cut class because, it was just so much drama and bullshit to deal with at school.
Yeah,
And it wasn't being afraid. It was just one of those where you just didn't want to deal with it. And, it's about the same time that you're getting into, girls and you want to take a girl,
yeah,
see if you could take her in the bushes and do what you do,
yeah,
you know. So off of 98th and Holly, there's this little park and we're over there playing, right?
hmm
We're doing little kid shit. We're, 10, 11 years old, 12 years old, maybe. And these morenos show up, right? It's probably like 10, 12 of them. And one of them says, "What's up?" But it's one of those like, are you saying what's up, like how you doing? Or are you saying what's up, like what's up with it? So next thing you know, my friend gets sucker punched. I get sucker punched. I'm over here trying to fight him off as best I can. Everybody else starts hopping the gates and basically left us to fend for ourselves, right? And
yeah.
we fought a losing battle, but we didn't go out swinging. And one of my friend that got beat up with me, his dad had a 25 at his house.
Okay.
And my friend, he's over there crying. He's all emotional. Hey, let's go to my house. All right. And I told him, I said, you know what, man? I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of this shit. Where's your dad's gun at? Let's get it. And he's like, what are you going to do? I said, because they told us that they were from Madison. Basically, what it was these were kids from another middle school coming to fight the kids from our school.
Oh, okay.
And I told my friend, I said, dude, bad enough we got to deal with the bullshit with the kids from our school. Now we
Now you
got to
got to
deal with
go with the other.
motherfuckers from another school. Nah,
Yeah.
nah, nah. Ya estuvo suave. So my boy jumps on his bike. I jump on his brother's bike, and we go riding straight up 105th because my boy lived on 103rd.
Yeah, yeah.
And this was around the time when school was letting out for those kids. And if you go into Sobrani, there's a liquor store right on the corner of 105th and Eads. It's called
Oh,
Scotty's. It's still there to this
yeah,
day.
yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
hood right there, fool.
yeah, exactly. So there's a park that's all boarded up, but back then, it was still available to the public.
Yeah.
And so, and across from there, there was another like little penny candy store, and they had arcade machines. So,
Okay.
there's all this little activity, kids going home, kids buying snacks, whatever. So we stopped right there on the corner, and I said, you know what? Fuck this. Pull out the little 25, boom, 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 shoot into the crowd. I didn't care because I'm like, these motherfuckers don't care about us. And what was so funny was that my friend, he freaks out, he drops his bike and he starts running. Why? I have no idea. And I'm just
Damn.
hauling ass on my way to 98th, right? And this was like a block behind me. Wait for me. Wait for me. So I hit a U-turn. He jumps on the back of the pegs. We pedal, and I strike all the way to his house.
Yeah.
And he's crying the whole time. I'm like, why are you crying? Why are you crying? My dad's going to beat my ass. And I'm like, why? He goes, because, he goes, I left the bike. I'm like, you idiot. Why did you leave the bike? He's like, I don't know. I got scared. And I said, well, just tell him because, he was kind of lumped up. I said, well, just tell him some black just beat you up and took your bike.
Yeah.
He's like, well, what am I going to tell him about the bullets that are missing for the gun? I said, hey, that's not my problem. I'm going home, dude. You know,
Yeah.
so there comes a point where, you know what I mean? Like as a little kid, you don't really think things through, te vale madre. So you do dumb shit that unfortunately, got a lot of people caught up, and us, we just got lucky and never got in trouble for it,
Yeah, I
you
feel you.
know? So I end
Same
up,
here with me.
yeah. So I end up going to San Leandro High for a few years.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't go
because
to high school in Oakland either. I went to high school in Sacramento.
okay,
Yeah, and that
yeah,
that was a fucking adventure on its own, bro. Bro, I always tell people this story on my channel. We went to Sac. I'm thinking it's gonna be a nice town. I'm not gonna have to deal with the bullshit in Oakland, bro. The school I went to out there was probably just as bad as any school out in Oakland, bro.
you went from one ghetto to another.
Another, bro. I didn't even know, and it was worse for me because this is the time before there was anybody really from Oakland out there. There weren't too many
Yeah,
people. No one believes me, bro. This has to be like 92, 93. There weren't that many people from Oakland out there back in those days, bro.
they didn't
Trust
like
me,
you guys.
I would ask, bro. I would ask fools, hey,
Yeah,
are you from Sac? Or are you from the Bay? Oh,
yeah,
I'm from Sac. I'm from Sac. I'm from Sac. So it sucked being caught in the middle of a war zone, and
yeah,
you're not
yeah.
even from there, and you don't even know any people. Are like, I'm from Frank Loan, and I'm from Diamonds, and I'm
You're
from
like,
fucking,
okay,
I'm
good
a
for
Crips
you.
and Blood, and I was like, Crips and Bloods. We don't have that in Oakland, so it was like
Ah,
weird
what
to
is
me.
this? The
Like,
movie Colors?
yeah, I'm like, shit. Man, 510. I wish I went to fucking Skyline, bro, or
Uh,
Piedmont High. I would have been
eh,
your boss right now, motherfucker. but
hey, that's like That's like me. So I went to San Leon High for a couple of years, right?
bro, let
Wasn't
me tell
very
you something.
eventful.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but bro, that school was so bad. I was in the middle of a fucking race riot, bro, like in a prison in
Oh wow.
Sacramento. So just that's
Yeah.
well, anyway, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
no,
Go
no,
ahead.
no. It's all good. Yeah, like San Leandro, they used to have their little race riots too. It was funny because it used to be basically between the norteños and the blacks, right? And me, I pretty much stuck to myself. Like, ironically, a lot of the black guys, they were either from Oakland or they knew people from Oakland,
Yeah,
so they were cool with me.
yeah,
And it always be somebody come hit me up like, hey, haznos el paro, we're all raza, we should be helping each other out, and da 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 da
yeah,
da. And I'd be like, man, miss me with that bullshit. Them fools don't trip on me, I don't trip on them,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know. But I never really had any issues at the high school. It was cool,
yeah.
It wasn't until, so my parents, they went to Mexico, right? And they wanted me to go with them, so I went, and I didn't want to stay out there. And one of my brothers, he offered to take me in. He was living in San Leandro at the time.
Uh-huh.
So I go there, and then my parents are like, well, hey, if this fool's willing to watch him part time, maybe he'll watch him full time. So they pulled a fast one on my brother. They're like, hey, here's $200. Good luck. And so what ends up happening is my brother decides to move out of the Bay. He moved to Vacaville.
Órale.
Now, I never understood why, or maybe he just wanted to get away because my brother, he used to hustle. And, for whatever reason, he just thought it'd be better moving out there. So when I moved out there, I had to go to continuation school because I was behind on my credits and shit. And so I ended up going to a continuation school, which I don't know if you're familiar with Vacaville, but
A little bit. I mean, I'm familiar with Solano County because I lived there briefly in Vallejo.
yeah,
I'm kind of. I know the outlets and
yeah,
all that stuff.
yeah. Nah, so basically
I
Vacaville's a
did. I
funny
did
town.
mess around with a girl who was from Brown Street. You ever heard of that?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Long
well,
time
that's yeah, well, that's where the continuation school's at. It's called Country High.
ago.
And
Okay.
so Vacaville's a trip because you got I-80 going straight through the middle,
Yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah,
there's literally a creek that like snakes through the whole town. So it's not like Oakland where you could jump on East 14th and go all the way from the 90s to downtown without hitting
yeah,
a
yeah,
left or right.
yeah.
Whereas over there, You start off on San Leandro, you go down to MacArthur, you end up back on,
Yeah, now
Doolittle.
that I think
It's
about it,
weird.
yeah, Vacaville has a weird angle on its streets, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah. So it just so happens that on the opposite side of I-80 where Brown Street's at, that was the Raza side of town, the
That's what I
kind of like
remember hearing.
poor side of town, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I ended up going to school out there, right? And the funny part about going to school over there was, so I didn't know anybody, obviously. I'm the new kid in school. The norteños didn't like me because they thought I was a sureño. The
yeah,
sureños didn't like me because they thought I was a norteño. So everybody's basing it on, well, you don't fuck with us, so you must be with those guys.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
you don't fuck with, and that's how everybody looked at it. And so I'm out there, I got my town mentality where we're
yeah,
not gonna sit here and talk about shit. If we're gonna fight, we're gonna fight.
yeah, yeah,
Otherwise, you
sure.
do you, I do me, everything's everything. And so, I had a few fools, come at me sideways. And before they know it, I'm putting hands on them because I didn't come here to talk. I came here to get an education. And if somebody wants to fight me, then I
Yeah.
guess we're fighting, And it was
That's
funny
kind of how I
because,
felt in Sacramento too. Like I'm not here to
yeah,
join your fucking street politics. I'm here to do my thing and get my ass back home. That's it. But I
yeah,
knew I wasn't gonna stay in Sacramento, bro. I didn't like it at all, bro. So I said
yeah,
I'm going back to the Bay as soon as I turn 18. And that's actually I came back to the Bay when I was 17, but I said that's what I was gonna do, and that's what I did.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it
and it
just
was
sucks
funny.
that people will try to get you involved into their
Yeah.
shit there, and you're like, nah, I'm not from here, bro. I don't give a fuck about your beefs out here.
Yeah, because I remember the first time I got in a fight at school, it was hilarious, right? Because I'm in my little classroom. I asked the teacher, can I go use the bathroom? So I leave. And then there's this sureño, this norteño, they're getting into it, right?
Yeah,
And the sureño, the norteño that was fighting, his sister was the baddest chick in school. I mean, she was fine, dude. All
yeah.
these other chicks, they were little girls. This female, she was a woman.
She's
And
already
and
developed.
hell yeah. And so supposedly the coolest dude at the school, that was his chick. So these two dudes are going at it. I'm walking past. I could care less. I don't know either one of them. So here comes that chick's man. And I still remember because it seemed like he was running in slow motion. And I guess he thought I was involved.
Oh shit.
So he's running straight towards me. And I look at him. And as soon as he came within arm's length, bink, que te lo siento de un vergazo. And I turned around. I just kept walking. I went right back to class.
Damn.
He's sitting there with a dumb look on his face. And I'm like, well, hey, you should have kept going that way.
Yeah. Hey,
And go ahead.
no, I was gonna tell you another thing. You mentioned it's a trip how people trip off your Oakland mentality when you move to a new place, huh? Because when I went to Sacramento, people did not understand me, bro. It was just
Yeah.
like my mentality was totally different from there. I had that I'm a player, I'm from the town mentality. You feel me? And they wasn't really on that. And they were like, "Oh, you talk like you're black," and I would hear a
Yeah.
lot of that kind of stuff. Like you talk weird, you don't talk like us.
You know what was the funniest thing about going to that school? All the black chicks were on me, dude. No
Yeah, me
lie.
too, bro. In Sacramento, a lot of black girls used to like me, and I didn't know why.
And I remember I told one of my friends jokingly, it was this dude from Richmond. I said, you know why? I said, because I'm the closest thing you guys have to a black guy.
Yeah,
You know?
I get that because of where we grew up.
Yeah.
But
Nah, so
it's a trick, bro. Because when I moved out, this is the weird thing that would happen to me, bro. When I moved out of Oakland, people would tell me, "You're Mexican and you're from Oakland." I'm like, "Yeah, why? Why would I not be? Why would I? What's wrong with that?" And they were like, "I thought Oakland's all black." I'm like, "Who the fuck told you that?" And I think that kind of mentality is the reason why Oakland Latinos United exists. Because I got tired of our raza being ignored.
yeah.
Period. In Oakland, bro. It's like nah. And then when I read the history of Oakland, our history isn't even in the history books of Oakland. So that pissed me
True.
off, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, no wonder they think we don't exist out here. If no one is putting our history, and we have a deep history in Oakland. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but we have a really deep history in this city, bro.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I appreciate about your channel is that, you've enlightened me about a lot of things that I had no idea about, you
Yeah,
know? And a lot of times what it is, you know, you're close minded, you're just so isolated, all you know is your surroundings, your
Yeah,
area, who came and went from this area or that area, but you don't really venture beyond that to find out what went down before you even
yeah,
came here, or what used to be there.
yeah. It's kind of like me. I remember, like, to me, my world was Fruitvale, Jingletown, East Seventh Street, bro. That was my
Yeah,
world as a kid. You know what I mean? That's all I knew. Like when I would go to the Deep or go to the West Oakland, that was like a
yeah,
whole nother world to me. You feel me? It
yeah,
wasn't until I moved to Sacramento that I realized Oakland was a lot bigger than just that little world.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
But
and
you
then
know what though, really, when you think about it, like as big of a city as Oakland is, it's still kind of small where pretty
oh
much
yeah,
everybody knows everybody,
yeah,
because it
exactly.
doesn't matter where you grew up, but you still know somebody that knows somebody from the other side of town,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
from the rival hood, or whatever. You know what I mean? Because growing up, like I said, I remember going to all these weddings and quinceañeras at these different salons and seeing fools from other spots, and sometimes there was tension, sometimes there was none. Occasionally, people would broker these little, short-lived, you know, gang truces. Like, we had one for a while con los de la quince,
Yeah, yeah,
that the fools from DFL fucked up at a football game. You know, we had fools from the 30s, and I'm not gonna put them on blast,
I
know,
know.
that came through because one of their homeboys was my homeboy's brother, telling us they didn't want no problems.
Yeah,
And it's just one of those where you can go back and forth and you can have dialogue where even though there's violence, it's kind of kept to a minimum.
yeah,
Because as bad as it was, it could have been a whole hell of a lot worse. But a lot of times you hold back because you know yeah, I'm cool with you, but so and so from such and such neighborhood, that's your cousin or that's
yeah.
your older brother. And a lot of times you're like, nah,
See,
it's
like
really not that serious. So, you show a little more restraint than you would if everybody were total strangers.
yeah, like my brother was OG 36 locals, bro, the first generation, and I grew up. It's no secret, bro. Everyone that watches my channel
Yeah.
knows that I grew up with hella Norteños, bro, from the 30s, from East
Yeah.
Seventh Street, from Fruitvale gangsters, all that area. I knew motherfuckers from all those hoods, 38, all that. And
Yeah.
I could remember as a youngster, bro, even though I didn't gangbang per se, you could kind of tell that I was Norteño affiliate, just the way I kind
Yeah.
of conducted myself, because that's what I grew up. And then I grew up in the era where everything was still kind of cholo. Remember that when fools were
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
cholo
Yeah.
style in the town, and I
Yeah.
still
Most
kind of have
definitely.
that style to this day a little bit. And I would go to Fandango Latino, bro, in the deep.
Yeah.
And I could have got fucking killed going out there, bro. And no one would trip, bro. We would just go out there to have fun. Because I've always been into Spanish music. Anyone that knows me, bro, knows that I've always been into banda, into merengue,
Yeah.
salsa, cumbia. I mean, when I say I'm Oakland Latinos United, bro, that's not even a lie, bro. I'm like really Latino centric, bro. Like I've
Most
always loved
definitely.
what comes from our people. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
yeah, I remember going to Flankers a couple times when I was young. I remember the East. I didn't get to go to those, but the East Mall Bailes.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
those?
Right there where it used to be Mervin's.
Bourbons, yeah. I remember all that, bro. And I would go to like the salsa shows in San Francisco. But my point is we used to go to fucking to Fandango Latino, bro, which was like Water Brother territory. And
Yeah.
we never got fucked with, bro. And I even went with a couple of homeboys sometimes out there. And it
Well,
was all love, bro. Nobody was tripping. We was just there trying to get girls, bro. That was it,
yeah.
bro.
Well, there used to be this dude that used to work there. He was a security guard named Hassel from Fruitville. I don't know if you remember him. He had a
Maybe.
he had a few brothers. They used to live over there, if I'm not mistaken, over there behind the Fruitville bar station.
Okay.
On I
I
want to
think I
say
know what's his name again?
his last name was Hassel. I forgot his
Hassel.
first name. He was kind of a big, stocky dude. He was cool. You
They
know what
used
I
to live
mean?
by the bar station.
Yeah, right
I
there
think
off of what is that, San Leandro Boulevard.
yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. It was two brothers, right?
Be honest with you, I think they were a decent sized family. I mean, I don't know si eran primos or si eran hermanos because they were a lot older than me. You
I know
know,
who you're talking about, bro. I actually grew up with that family, but don't remember their name because it's been so many years since I've seen them.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they hit me up on Oakland Latinos United if it's the same family,
Órale.
bro. Yeah, they recognized me and they were like, "Oh shit, we remember you and your whole family, bro."
Yeah, because there was a few times that we got into shit right there, and dude used to back us up. Like the main people that we used to get into it up there were, believe it or not, it was sureños.
Oh really? Oh yeah,
Because the reality is that a lot of them vatos, they're first generation Mexican Americans just like us, if not immigrants, so they were a lot more into the whole Mexican culture, Spanish music, dancing and whatnot, so we would frequent a lot of the same spots.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, for
you
sure.
know so a lot of times motherfuckers would bump heads, hey, what you looking at,
Yeah.
or even the sureños with Richmond, like a lot of times when there was bailes, like at the convention center,
Oh yeah, I remember those.
because a lot of people, used to like red. This was the 90s, Chicago Bulls era,
Yeah,
the UNLV running rebels. So, they would see somebody wearing, one of those starter jackets,
yeah,
and now they want a set trip, and nobody got time to explain, you
yeah.
know. So it was what it was.
I feel you. I'm gonna tell you, it was weird growing up in Fruitvale though, because I don't know if you know too much of the history of Fruitvale, bro, but it was a weird mixture because it was and people don't believe me, bro, and this is true because I remember it like this, and even you can ask my mom, my brother. Well, my mom's not alive, but when they were alive, my brothers too, and they'll tell you this. It was a mixture of a lot of different things. I'm talking about Latinos
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there
yeah,
was there were a lot of like third and like second generation Chicanos, bro, who had been in Oakland for hella generations. There were also a lot of Puerto Ricans too. There were a lot
yeah,
of Native American cats as well. And there was also a lot of like Tejanos and New Mexican people, like Chicanos from Texas and New Mexico. And
yeah.
and and you had like me, the first generation born here. Um, it was weird. It was weird because and I grew up around that, so there was always more like that Chicano mentality. That's why I think
Yeah,
I have that. That you hear me say that a lot, Chicano, because when I
yeah.
grew up in the Fruitvale area as a kid and even as a teenager, kind of that Chicano mentality was big in that area. I'm not sure if you remember that or if that's familiar with you.
No, of course, because like the 30s were basically raza central. It didn't
Yeah,
matter where you lived at. You could be from the west, but everything was always going down in the 30s.
yeah, yeah,
So everybody congregated on that side of town. If somebody from your family had a party, they rented a salon, it was always on Fruitville, or it
yeah,
was always on that side of town, every now and then on Hagenberger. But for the
yeah.
most part, everything was always going down on that side of town.
And then a lot of people don't realize that the old Mexicans from Fruitvale area from the 30s, and even the Doves and Quince and all those areas, a lot of those families had originally been in West Oakland. I don't know if you knew that. The original
No,
burial in Oakland used to be on the west.
no.
And
See,
then
like,
they tore down that neighborhood and pushed everybody to Fruitvale.
yeah. See,
Yeah.
the majority of the raza that I knew growing up, they were from my dad's hometown in Michoacan, which, like,
Don't tell me your dad's from Chavinda.
yeah, yeah,
Everybody in Oakland's from Chavinda.
yeah. So that's how a lot of people knew each other. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because like guys from Fruitville, from Chavinda, not all, but a vast
Yeah.
majority, guys from Westside Berkeley, from Chavinda. You know what I mean? Guys from even
Oh
the
yeah,
South.
Juan Toscano.
Yeah, rest in
Yeah.
peace.
My
Yeah,
sister knows his family.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, my sister
como que
grew
I
up with
know
his
them
mom.
too.
Huh?
I said como que I know them too.
Yeah, do you know Patricia Toscano?
Yeah, somos
Yeah,
parientes.
yeah, that's my sister grew up with her.
Órale.
I don't know if
Yeah,
you know my sister. Her name's Angela from the 30s.
probably.
Yeah, you
You know,
probably
cause she.
seen her around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cause
that's
I mean, I literally grew up around the corner.
yeah. So
Hey, what's
yeah,
up,
man.
Timo? Yeah, you know
Yeah,
what I mean.
my family's from Michoacan. Well, it's weird because it's complicated because my mom was born around La Piedad, Michoacan. I don't know if you
Yeah,
know where
yeah.
that's at. And
Mm-hmm.
but she grew up in Tijuana.
Órale.
Yeah, so there was a little disconnect. But I remember growing up in Oakland, I always knew a lot of people from Chavinda. Everyone was from Chavinda.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, did you ever know this crazy ass kid that lived in the 30s named Jesus Zamora? I've told
Sounds
stories.
familiar.
I've told stories about him. He was kind of cuckoo in the head, bro. But
It sounds familiar
I
because
grew up with that
I've
fool.
actually met a bunch of people que se apellidan Zamora, even people that grew up on my side of town. They
Yeah,
were
yeah.
from they were from a town called La Palma.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. You know, I met
Yeah.
somebody in Sacramento from that town too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, La Palma. Yeah. Yeah, and then my dad, he's from a place called Cabañas in El Salvador. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's close to the border with Honduras.
I have cuando estás torcido, you meet a lot of a lot of Central Americans, and they start you tell them, you start swapping stories about what it's like in your town. They tell you a little bit about theirs, and there's a few names of towns that just stick out.
Hey, my homie Christian, he says, "Do you know Muerte from 94th?"
Yeah, Jaime Herrera, I know.
Yeah, Christian knows him too. I don't know if you ever seen Christian. He comes on my channel from time to time.
Órale.
He used to live in the deep. He lived in the Fruit Belt too.
Okay.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so originally what we were going to talk about was, well, 2 points. We're going to talk about the American Cholo situation, and we were going to talk about Raza that used the N word and
Yeah,
how that's becoming a big deal. Let's talk about that first. So Raza using the N word, like
for sure.
for us in the Bay in Oakland, bro, we know
Yeah,
already that's not a big deal
yeah,
because
yeah,
we grew up like that. So like I never really thought about it till I would go out like to San Jose or to other areas and they would trip out like, why you talk like that, bro?
yeah,
And it seems
yeah.
like in LA, obviously it's a big deal in Los Angeles, but
Yeah, that reminds me of you remember the party line?
yeah, back in the
So
day, yeah, the
like
biosphere,
yeah, exactly. So see, I always knew that I wasn't gonna be into social media just based on my only experience with the party line.
yeah,
This was back when everybody had the Motorola phones, they had the chip, so you're
yeah,
making unlimited free calls, right? So
yeah,
when we be out there on the streets hustling, one of my homeboys, he'd be on that thing 24/7. So finally one day he passes me the phone and I'm like, "What's up?" And all I hear is some guy go, "Why you talk like you black?" And I got pissed off. I hung up and like, "Toma tu putada, güey." And he's like, "Why'd you hang up?" I said, "I just didn't like the way the guy got at me." And you could tell by the way the guy spoke, he was from SoCal,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
But I mean, it's just that I've been watching a lot of YouTube channels. I'll be honest, I don't watch them all.
yeah.
There's some that
Me
I
neither, bro. There's too
find.
many.
Oh no, most definitely. You know what I mean? But I hear a lot of people, and to me, I just kind of feel like, they're speaking on topics that they're either, misinformed about, or they're just closed minded and they've already formed their opinion.
Yeah,
These guys talk like this because they want to be like blank and they want to do this and they want to do that. And there's a lot more to it than just that.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Because, I mean, like I said, I grew up, in a predominantly, black neighborhood in a predominantly black city.
yeah,
Now, that doesn't mean that I got carte blanche to walk around and call anybody I see the N word. And I'm going to say the N word out of respect for you and out of respect to your viewers.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
I've said it on occasion on other people's lives, and I catch myself after the fact because I'm not trying to offend somebody. I'm not trying to, have, me be a negative reflection on that individual's channel. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Because the only people that I associate with on the streets, social media, on here, people that I respect. I
yeah, yeah.
respect you, I respect your platform, and I respect
Thank you,
everything you're trying to do,
thank you,
you
bro.
know? And so my thing is, you just get so comfortable hearing it
Yeah,
constantly, day in, day out. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things like if I hang out with you and you have a certain hablada, a certain little word you like to use, initially I'll start like doing it to mock you. when you're not around. I'll be like, yeah, Jose says Simon que sí. And for every
Yeah,
little thing, Simon que sí, Simon que sí. And then, not to say that you say that or anything, but just as an example. And then
right.
everybody that knows you is going to be like, look, look, look. He's doing Jose right now. He's doing Jose right now. Well, before you know it, me saying Simon que sí to make fun of, you know, of Jose, pretty soon it's going to be me saying it just because now that's how I talk. And
Moderators, that's not American Cholo. Please take care of that. Anyway,
and that's what happens. Like it or not, you pick up the mannerisms of people around you. You pick up the vernacular of people around you,
yeah,
for
exactly.
better or worse. It's not meant to insult or look down on someone, because see, to me, a lot of people say that, you have no right to tell, anyone else how to think, how to feel, and that's true.
Yeah,
But I just don't like the hypocrisy that goes with, hey, we can say this word, but you can't.
yeah,
To
exactly.
me, a more logical way of thinking is, we shouldn't say it, so then these other people don't think it's cool to say it.
Yeah,
Now,
I feel
I'm not saying that anybody should censor the way they talk, because to me, there's little difference between using the N word and using profanity around your kids, around, other people that don't use profanity.
yeah,
Some people look at it as a form of ignorance. Like, damn, what's up with this dude? Like, is he so ignorant that he can't express himself more intelligently? Of course. But it's one of those when, it's like you can speak proper Spanish, I can speak proper Spanish. But once I get comfortable, once I start, tipping back a few beers, no, que hijo de tu puta madre, que pinches vatos mamones. You know what I'm saying? It just comes out of you. But it's not meant to offend. It's not meant to insult. Like, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I can't remember the last time I used the ER, or the last time I said the N word to an African American out
yeah,
of anger. That and that's
yeah,
and that's no lie. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Because I'll be honest
I
with
don't
you.
either. Really, there's really no. You know what I
You,
mean,
my thing is, like, I'll keep it 100. I probably got more morenos that I'm cool with than anything, because
bro? I'm gonna
that's what
keep
I
it
grew up
100
around.
with you, bro. I've I've actually dated more morenas than I have raza girls, bro.
Slept with,
And
yes. Dated,
yeah,
no.
both las dos. So, I mean,
You know what I mean?
somebody said, is Oakland still majority black? What would you think, bro?
I think, to be honest with you, I think Oakland is primarily white now, if
It
not
seems to be
always been. And the reason being is because there's always been white people in Oakland.
in Oakland. Yeah, yeah,
Whether or not we seen them, they were still here. And then with the whole gentrification thing, now you see it even more. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
In West
Because
Oakland, places you wouldn't think you would see it before.
exactly.
Yeah,
And then ironically, like, a lot of the gentrification is going on in the Latino side of town. Like,
yeah,
where I grew up, the predominantly black side of town, you don't really see them that much. What you do see more of is more Asians and more Latinos buying up the houses.
yeah,
And gradually you're seeing less and less African Americans.
yeah,
And that's primarily because a lot of the African Americans are relocating to the suburbs, to
yeah.
Stockton, to
Or they're moving
Antioch.
out of state too.
That too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's
Like
a,
I
it's
live there. I still live in the East Bay. I don't live in Oakland. I live in like by El Sobrani, kind of by Richmond, bro. And
yeah,
I go
yeah,
into Richmond all the time. And Richmond, you don't see that many blacks anymore, bro. It seems like it's all raza now.
yeah.
A lot of raza bought up everything out there, so it's like becoming like a brown city, literally, bro. In Richmond now.
No, I believe it.
Yeah, so it's completely different from when I first moved up to this area. Oh, thanks, man. Hey, you guys, if you guys, thanks, Sea Dog. Anyone who wants to donate, super chat, bro, put it down there. Help a brother out. Instead of helping no jumper those guys, help a real Chicano out who's out here doing things.
For reals.
But
But
yeah, man, but going back to the N word, yeah, like us, we grew up in the Bay, bro. We grew up around blacks. We grew up, even if we didn't self consciously look at it that way,
yeah.
it se los pegó. You know what I mean? And we
Yeah,
said it
most
without.
definitely.
I said it on my live. If you see some of my night live, you'll hear it
Yeah.
slip out for sure. But
Yeah.
but the
See, like one of
question
the
now
things that,
is, oh, go ahead, my bad.
yeah, no, you know, one of the things that drives me crazy is these judgmental people. Well, I don't use it, and I don't use it. And if
Yeah,
you don't use it, good for you. There's a lot of words that the next man might say that I don't say at all. But
yeah,
using it versus not using it doesn't mean you're more raza than the next man. You know, it just means that maybe you weren't exposed to that culture. You know what I mean? Because like to be honest with you, I kind of looked at it at a certain point in time. I kind of looked at it like a lot of people that were using the word, they were using it intentionally. They were using it knowingly because they felt like it gave them more street cred. It
yeah,
made them come off as being more hood and more down. And I never felt like I needed to do that. You know,
yeah,
I didn't need to, prove who I am or what I was about verbally. For what? The people that know me know me. You
yeah,
know what I mean? You know, I'll admit it. You know, when I kick it with my black folks, you know, I say it all the time, even around people that no longer use it. You know, I
yeah,
got I got black partners that will say my dude or my guy instead of saying, my N word. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
it's just one of those things now. I mean, if I don't try as hard as I should not to cuss around my kid, the hell I look like trying not to cuss around another grown man. You know,
yeah,
we're adults. You know, unless you feel like I'm blatantly going out of my way to disrespect you, it's not like I'm over here trying to be condescending. And that's one of the things that kind of annoys me sometimes. When certain black people get upset. Oh, well, you guys use it and this and that. Yeah. But there's a big difference between me calling Jose the N word and Jose calling me the N word and me calling another black man the N word.
yeah,
Totally different. You know what I mean? It's like if you want to call me an asshole and I'm okay with that. Should the next man have a problem with it?
yeah. I feel
Let's
you.
be real. Hey, if them fools want to call each other assholes, if females want to call each other bitches, hey, that's on them.
It's
You know?
kind of like when I went to Colombia, bro. I noticed, and even in El Salvador, you see this. Like I remember, like in Colombia, everyone called each other "hijo de puta." Everybody,
Yeah.
like hijo de puta, and it's like normal. But like if you tell that to like a Mexicano or someone who's not used to it,
Yeah.
they're like, "Who you calling that to, motherfucker?" They want to fight you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely.
It's kind of something like that. You know what I mean? And I'm used to it because
Yeah.
my dad was Salvadorian, and that's how he would talk.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she was like, "I'm puta, what puta." You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's like me. Like there was a point in time where I kicked it more with the guys from DFL than I did with the guys from my neighborhood.
Yeah,
And a lot of those guys, they were salvatruchas. And you even had Mexican fools that se les pegaban las habladas de los salvatruchas.
yeah,
Their word was hijo de puta.
yeah.
No eran
Cerote.
putazos, eran vergazos.
Vergazo, yeah. Esa es
Yeah,
una vergón, está vergón.
yeah, you know what I mean? So, you know, I was used to that. So I never took no offense to it,
Yeah,
but to me, like I used to tell a lot of my little partners, not necessarily dudes from my block, but youngsters that, I was cool with. I used to tell them like, dude, you should try to use that word less because do you really want to get in a fight over one punk ass word because you
yeah,
say this and somebody tries to correct you? And some of them, took it into consideration. And then you had some other cats that, they were like, whatever. And then ironically, I'm the one that ended up getting into a fight over that word. You
yeah.
know, one and
Did
it's
you
funny.
know? Did you know that one cat that became a professor who was from DFL?
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. Victor Rios.
Victor Rios. Yeah,
Victor Rios. Yeah, he went to Berkeley High. Yeah, that was my partner. I actually went to Highland with him.
I got mad at him and sent him a pretty messed up message. He probably got mad at me.
Yeah, he's a really cool dude. I mean, I haven't,
No,
I
I
haven't, I
wasn't
haven't.
mad at him
Yeah, yeah,
personally. I was mad because he wrote a book, bro. And
yeah,
in the book, he tried to make it seem like Rasa and Oakland didn't have a history. We were just like these immigrants, and we were
yeah,
kind of living off what black people and the Black Panthers did. I'm like, nah, that's completely false. And I wrote him a
yeah,
letter saying, like, well, where the fuck did you get your
yeah.
information, bro? How is it I'm not a college professor and I know more about this than you do, bro?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I heard about the book. I mean, me and him, we lost touch, back in the mid to the late 90s because, he ended up going to Back then it was Cal State Hayward before it became
Yeah,
Cal
yeah,
East Bay, and I ended up going to the School of Hard Knocks, you know, and so
yeah,
that's where we parted ways. But it became one of those things where someone would tell me like his nickname was Puppet, and
yeah,
some of my homeboys would be like, "Hey, did you hear that Puppet became a college professor? I think at UC Santa Barbara or
yeah,
something like that." And I was like, "Oh shit, good for him," because he was a really good dude.
yeah.
Like I remember PBS, the channel with Big Bird and all that Sesame
Yeah,
Street
yeah,
stuff.
PBS. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So one time they did a documentary about
Berkeley High.
exactly, and he comes
I
out in
seen
that.
it. Yeah, he was on
He
it. I
co-
forgot about that.
yeah. Yeah, the dudes from Westside Berkeley were trying to throw him off the balcony.
Yeah,
Like
I remember that. And the cops like wrestled him to the ground or something like that.
yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah,
he's a little guy, pobrecito, and outnumbered. You know what I mean? Of course, something like
yeah,
that were to happen, and it was
yeah.
funny, right?
I
Because
never
see,
met him in person though, but yeah,
he was a good dude. You would have liked him. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And see what happened was like me personally. You know, I'm from where I'm from. Like it or not,
yeah,
hey, it wasn't up to me where my parents bought their house.
yeah,
They bought that house when I was 3, and I'm sure that at that time they could give a fuck less what I thought. You know
yeah.
what I'm
And
saying?
I mean, you got
You
to
know,
remember at that time, probably houses were cheap as hell in those areas.
yeah, just
Yeah,
like I'm sure that people from the other side of town didn't have a choice where they grew up either.
yeah,
So my thing was always, I was never into no coward shit, running around jumping people, running my mouth. If
yeah,
it came down to it, hey, do what you got to do. You
yeah,
know, so you know, basically what happened was, I remember, I was just, so I ended up having to drop out of school, get a job, and one day, me and that dude Victor, we reconnected, right? So now he was part of some raza awareness group. They used to meet at there's a okay, so you know where the skating rink is over there downtown by the Sears building?
oh yeah, 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 yeah. Of
Okay.
course.
So out there in that area, there's a social hall. It used to be for the
Okay.
waiters union. And so there was a group that used to meet up there. And they would discuss issues affecting the raza. Hey, this company or this business is discriminating against our people. Let's
Yeah,
boycott them. We're gonna do a protest march to Sacramento for this cause or for that cause. And I'm sure that there's organizations like that throughout the country. This was just one of them, and it just so happened that Victor was involved in this particular one. So he comes by
yeah,
the block, picks me up, he takes me over there, and I'm pretty open minded. So I really started getting into that stuff,
yeah,
you know. And so what ends up happening is, I don't know if you've ever been to Cal Berkeley in September.
yeah,
They usually have a day called Raza Day.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember. I never been to that, but I've been down to Berkeley High, and I've talked to not Berkeley High, Berkeley UC campus. I've
Yeah,
talked to
yeah.
Chicano students in the past. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so what ends up happening is they were gonna, have Raza Day, and this organization, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it was called. They were basically gonna be like security to try to keep the peace so that there was no disturbances, going down. That was gonna you know, interrupt the event because something like that could just get shit shut down for, future events. Hey, these people don't know how to act, hey, we're gonna have to cut it short, right? So
yeah,
what happens is I'm out there, and what ends up happening is, I knew a few guys from Berkeley because, like I said, people from Chavinda, you know,
yeah,
we know them, they know us, whatever. But this was one of those things that, you know, we were trying to do
somebody get
to
that
try to,
troll, please. Moderators, do please be on the lookout for trolls.
bring, the raza together. So we see these guys, and Victor went to high school with them, and he tells the guys like, "Hey, let's keep it cool. We're here for Rasa. We're here for unity. Blah 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 blah." All right, cool.
Yeah,
So fast forward, 20, 30 minutes later, fools start getting deeper. Out come the bandanas, and I had took one of my homeboys with me, right? And so again, we go, we approach these guys, and so, you know, Victor and there was this other guy. His name was Charlie. They get at him like, "Dude, what happened? I thought we had talked about this." You know, and when these guys like, "Yeah, ain't nobody tripping," and my boy, la agarra el paño al vato. He goes, "Yeah, ain't nobody tripping." He's a big dude, so youngster thought twice about it. So basically, the main reason why we were there was because there was a lot of people from Richmond that were going to come down, and I guess Richmond and Berkeley don't get along. So it was just to try to keep,
Yeah.
everybody separate, and if not, just to try to keep them from getting into it with each other. So what ends up happening
Yeah.
is the Berkeley guys jump a dude from Richmond, and so
Okay.
now we got to go and talk to these dudes and tell them to be cool, right? And I see a few fools that I knew, and I'd already seen them before. And there was guys from Mecha, from that Latino fraternity. They were up there
Oh
from
yeah, yeah, of course.
University Santa Clara or something. And so
Yeah, I know. Like,
yeah, so one of the guys asked me because I guess he could see it on my face because I don't have a good poker face. He's like, "Hey, do you know those guys?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "If you go over there, is there going to be problems?" I said, "Probably." He goes, "Well, maybe you shouldn't go there." I said, "Nah, fuck that, I'm going." So I go, and this, Lamont dude, I don't know what he was thinking. Dude's like 5 foot nothing. So he's like, "What you looking at?" I'm like, "I'm looking at you, you punk ass bitch." Like, if you ask me a question, I'm gonna give you an answer. You might not like the answer, but you're gonna get it. So he
yeah,
bangs on me. He's like, "This Westside Berkeley. Oh, well, this is Deep East Oakland. Rácatelas." And it goes down, right? So we're going
yeah,
at it, and it's literally like seven of us, and it's like 20 of them. And there's
yeah,
some of the Mecha dudes over there trying to like break it up, and then they're catching stray ones for their troubles,
yeah,
you know. But
yeah,
like we're basically holding our own. It just so happens the guy that was with Victor today owns a martial arts studio, so you know he was more than capable of
What's
handling
his
his
name?
business. A guy named Charlie. He's
What's his
he's
name?
half. El vato se llama Charlie. He's half Asian and half Mexican.
Huh? Sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, he has a
Sounds
martial arts studio in Berkeley of all places. So
okay.
so what ends up happening is finally they break it up, right? And it's funny, right? Because there's a couple of guys that grew up with the guys from Berkeley and went to Berkeley High. They live in my neighborhood, and I'm cool with them. And I don't want to put them on blast and say their name,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they fuck with some of them cats to this day, and I've met some of them dudes like over the years. You know what I mean?
yeah,
We can laugh it off now because we're grown.
yeah,
But I'm sure at the time, they didn't find any humor in it.
yeah,
So what happens? I remember one of these guys. He was, I don't know, something was wrong with this dude. He tries to so we're like separated by like a good 10, 15 feet apart from each other. And this
yeah.
one idiot tries to creep up behind me. I don't know if the guy was just thinking, okay, I'm gonna sucker punch this guy y todos se van a dejar venir. I don't know. That's what I'm assuming. No, pues que te lo caso like 5, 6 feet away from me. Boom. A dormir, cabrón.
Damn.
And it's funny because years later, he I'm chilling at my homeboys, the ones that grew up going to school in Berkeley. I'm chilling at their pad, and they tell me, "Hey,
Uh-huh.
that dude's gonna come over here. Is there gonna be a problem?" I'm like, "Ain't no problem with me. I'm not the one that got his ass knocked out. So, if he ain't tripping, I'm not tripping. And
Yeah.
nothing became of it. So then, what was funny is we go into this auditorium, right? And do you remember Chewy Gomez from
Of
what was he
course.
94.9
Yeah,
or KML? I
yeah, of course.
forget.
Yeah,
So
106. He was in 106, and I think he was in
yeah, yeah.
94.9 too.
Okay, so he was up there, and he's doing his whole little DJ thing. They're broadcasting live from up there, and so we sit down, and dude, when I say these fools showed up deep, they were deep. I'm talking about at least a good 30, 40 motherfuckers. I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna go down. And so Chewy Gomez jumps on the mic, and he busts out with, um, "Yeah, we had a little incident earlier, but when you guys need to understand it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at, and you're in Berkeley. As soon as he says Berkeley, them fools go crazy. Yeah, Berkeley, blah, 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 blah. I get mad, so I start talking shit. Man, fuck you and them Chewy Gomez. What the whoop, right?
Yeah,
So quiet as kept, I had something on me. But just in case of an emergency, which I didn't feel, it justified the situation earlier, right? Here comes this big ass Samoan security
yeah,
guard, so called trying to check me, right? And he's like, hey man, and I'm like, what? You gotta sit your fat ass down before I sit you down. And I pull out the banger, right? Hey, be cool. And what was funny was before that, here comes this instigating ass dude from Mecha. And he's over here talking about, hey, them fools, they said they're gonna jump you. I said, hey, tell them I'll run the fade one on one with any one of them. And it was some big boys up there. I mean, bigger than me. I mean, I'm like 6'1", but dude, some of these fools towered over even me. So I'm like,
yeah,
so I'm telling them, man, I'll run the fade one on one. And my partner's like, fuck that, 2-on-2. And he goes and he tells him, nah, ain't gonna be no one on ones. It's gonna be jumping. And I'm like, well, shit, I'm down to die for my shit. Are they down to die for their shit? And dude's over there having a fit. Man, put that shit away. Put that shit away. So that dude Victor's like, man, let's just go. So we end up leaving, and fucking they snitched on me. Like we're leaving. We're in that dude Charlie's old school, and this ain't my first time getting pulled over by the cops. So I lift up the seat. The old school seats. They're hella easy to pop up. So I took the banger. They take us out. They search us. They don't find shit. But yeah, man. So I andamos con tu compa el Victor Rios, and I think that was like one of the last
yeah,
times I kicked it with him. And it was funny, right? Because at that Raza Day thing, they were selling these shirts that had the mural that they have at that Union Hall where everybody used to meet up at,
yeah,
and
yeah,
some Aztec theme thing, and basically it said, "We're not a gang, somos la raza."
yeah.
And when all the bullshit popped off initially, this one chick, she's telling me, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Look at what it says on your shirt." And I got pissed off. I pulled a Hulk Hogan. Luckily, I had a shirt under, so I ripped that shirt. I said, "Man, fuck this shirt." And see, the cold part about it was, prior to this day, I was fucking like, I was tired of the street life, dude. In all
Yeah,
honesty,
yeah.
and I was really enjoying the whole activist thing. You know,
And I went down
I,
that route too. I was like into the activist thing too for a few years.
yeah, because I mean, to me, it's like I've always been like me personally. I grew up in the church, you know, with my parents. You know what I mean? We used to be like, the little monaguillos over there, you know, carrying the cross and fucking collecting, the collection plate and all that other stuff. So, that's something that was always in me. So,
Which
as
church
I
did
got
you end up
older,
going to?
right there on 100th, St. Louis Bertrand.
Oh yeah, yeah. I went to St. Liz when I was a kid.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. So let's change
Yeah.
the subject real quick. One last one. So the whole American Cholo situation. That's one
Hmm.
of the topics that we talked about in private. What's your take on that situation? How they tried to assassinate his character and took things out of context. You know what I mean? Obviously, this dude Tariq Nasheed is a known like anti-Rasa, anti-indigenous. He's a racist. He says racist things and he
Yeah.
gets a free pass. But he's putting things about American Cholo uh,
Yeah. So
out of
here's my
context, and it almost seems like
yeah.
they want to silence Rasa.
Yeah. So here's my honest opinion on Gil. Gil's like everybody else on social media, on YouTube. They all got egos. Honestly, I think you're probably the most humble, unbiased guy on here, without a doubt. You know, seriously.
And
You
I
know what
got
I
my
mean?
own biases a little bit.
You
Yeah,
know, but everybody else, you know, son bien creídos. They're full of themselves.
Yeah,
and
that's just true.
Gil's no different. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But I think you have to have like some kind of, you know what I mean, confidence in what you say and what you think, just to, be respected or just to be acknowledged. Otherwise, people just gonna be dismissive of, yeah, la verga ese güey, pinche Winnie, vale verga, no, you know, no es nadie, no sabe nada
yeah,
type thing. So I think sometimes he takes it a little too far. Like, for example, with the ER word. You know what I mean?
hmm,
He didn't have to take it there. I can tell you, oh man, this motherfucker said the N word with the hard ER, and
yeah,
you fully comprehend what I'm saying. I don't. You're not gonna be like, well, what are you talking about? To where I gotta spell it out for you. You know damn well what I'm saying, so it doesn't need to be said. And he admitted it himself. He said it for shock value, and that's one of them things that doesn't matter how positive or how good your intentions are, there's always going to be somebody who's going to look at what you're saying and put a negative twist on it, put a negative connotation on
and
it.
even me, bro. And if you watch some of my older videos, I have mentioned that word not in a negative light, but explaining a
Yeah,
situation. Yeah, so I even in me, I'm guilty of it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
I could see how it could be taken out of context and be like, "Oh, Jose is from Oakland, but look, he's saying the N word," and it's like, no, that's not. Like, I think I remember one video I said something like the white supremacists. We can't give the white supremacists an excuse to call us wetbacks and the NER word.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? I
exactly.
said it. Yeah, yeah. I
You
said
know,
that one time in a video. That was early on because I've been doing this channel since 2007, bro.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
So
the oldest. I saw this motherfucker.
you're the OG.
Yeah,
Yeah. So what ends up happening is, you know, Gil, found that whole song by Tyga, the Ay Caramba song, offensive. And
yeah,
there's plenty of people that find that song harmless. I'm among them, but at the same
yeah,
time, I look at it like this: if you find the song offensive, Jose, I don't have any right to tell you you're overreacting. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you how to feel. I can't tell you how to think because every man is entitled to their own opinion. you know
yeah.
and once I hear someone speak out against something, then I got to sit there and hear where they're coming from. And basically what he was pointing out was, hey, why is it okay for an African American to mock our culture, but if we do it, it's World War III? And
Yeah,
that
yeah.
makes all the sense in the world. And
And I
once you
said the
put
same thing.
yeah, and once you put it into that kind of context, I'm with you.
Yeah,
What's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. I've always said, when it comes to racism, it shouldn't be, okay, this person could say and do whatever they want versus this other, but these other people, they have to watch their tone. Like, I don't
yeah.
like it when everyone's just
Or
focusing on, well, what. Go ahead.
or I don't like the attitude of like I'm tired of what the oppressors doing, so I want to get rid of that. But I want to be the oppressor now. Like, nah, that's not the way it goes, man. You get what I'm
Exactly.
saying, right?
No, 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 most
Yeah,
definitely. Hey, just because it was
yeah.
done to
And
me,
there's a
now it's
lot
okay
of
for
that.
me to do it to
Let's
somebody
keep it
else.
100, bro.
Yeah,
Let's keep it
abs-
100. There's a lot of that. Yeah,
oh hell yeah. Like me, I can't stand this whole, these people who say, "Oh, well, black people can't be racist because they're not in power." And it's like, "Well, what do you mean? They've held the three highest positions of public office in this country. They've had their president, they have their vice president, and they had the attorney general. If that's not power, I don't know
and
what
Facebook,
is."
they're all over the media too.
You know what I'm saying? So miss me with that bullshit. I've
Yeah,
dealt with racism at the hands of black people, but despite all that, I bear no ill will towards a
exactly,
random black individual who's never said or done anything to me. Like, I'll
exactly.
tell you a quick story. My neighbor. Es Morena. One day out of the blue, she asked me, "Hey, would you like a bike for your son?" And I'm like, "De seguro me va a dar una porquería que ni sirve." No lie, Jose, spanking brand new, still had the tags on it. And I was like, "Whoa!" And you know how many Latinos have done the same thing? Not one in my entire life. I've never even heard of such an act of charity. So in
Yeah.
appreciation, what did I do? I'm out here fixing up my yard, knocked on her door. Let me hook your yard up, just out of
Bro,
appreciation.
when I was young, I used to hate like white trashy white rednecks, bro. And then a white trashy redneck had my back more than some raza did. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Yeah, it's kind of
you
on the
know,
similar grounds.
yeah, and it happens like that sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes the people that you expect the least from will do the most for you. Like I'll give you a perfect example. When
yeah.
this the last time I went to the pen, I was in Susanville,
Uh
and I remember. So they have this thing called the MAC rep. Each race has their representative to bring up
huh.
any issues that they have with the administration, right?
Yeah,
And the president of the MAC reps was this black dude. He was a Crip from somewhere in Southern California, and he just so happened to be in my dorm. And he's over here venting to me about how this one dude, he's hella ungrateful. He got him a job, and the dude doesn't appreciate it. And see, at this time, in order to get your halftime, you had to have some type of assignment, either go to school or work. And I'm trying to, get my halftime started because I'm trying to go home as quickly as possible. I got
yeah,
shit waiting for me on the streets. And I was
yeah,
like, well, shit. If man, if I had a job, boy, I would appreciate that shit like a motherfucker. And he goes, "You want his job?" And I'm like, "What?" I'm thinking he's kidding with me. You know what I mean? Like, I would never expect, least of all in prison, to have, some black dude take a position away from one of his people and give it to someone of another race. But
yeah,
that's literally what this guy did. And I
yeah,
appreciated the fuck out of that shit. You know,
yeah.
when the
It happens
Raiders
like
played,
that sometimes.
yeah, when the Raiders played Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl, you know, the prison, they had a food drive, which basically meant that some outside organization was providing one of the groups inside the institution, whether it was the Muslims or the Native Americans, with basically something to sell, and the proceeds would benefit them. For the Indians for their sweat lodges, the Muslims for whatever their religious
Yeah,
rituals were. And it just so happens that the for the Super Bowl they were going to have sandwiches. So I went up to the black dude. I said, "Hey, what kind of sandwich you want?" He's like, "What? What kind of sandwich you want?" He goes, "For what?" I said, "For hooking me up." He's like, "I'm not charging you." I said, "I know you're not." I said, "That's why I'm asking you. What kind of sandwich you want?" And he told me what he wanted. You know what I mean? Shit, I went up there with like 3 grand on my books. $5 wasn't gonna make me or break me,
yeah. I feel you.
but I had to show that man that I appreciated what he did for me. You know, that man
Yeah,
got me
yeah.
back to my
No,
family just a little bit quicker. Meantime, nothing but drama with my own
that's what I'm
people.
saying.
You know,
That's what I'm saying. A lot of times we get caught up in a lot of this like racism bullshit, and a lot of times, you know, some of our own people screw us over a lot of times,
oh
bro. And
hell
other people
yeah,
of other races or other groups you would not expect,
yep.
help you out more. You're like, damn, how did that happen? Like that's a trip,
Yep. And the main
you know?
reason why it happens so much with our own people is because we're always on the defensive, worried about what the
Yeah.
next man's going to try to do to us.
Like
And
look at
we're
me, bro. I don't
so
know if you knew. I'm in music. I don't know if you knew that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I play Colombian music from Colombia, cumbia, vallenato, salsa.
Yeah.
Bro, more Colombianos, Central Americans, and South Americans have opened more doors for me in many occasions, and even some of my own Mexicanos, bro. It's not banda or corridos,
Oh, of
and it's
course.
kind of sad. It's like, bro, open up your mind, bro. There's a lot of different Spanish musics out there, bro.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it happens sometimes, But
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna end this soon. I'm just gonna ask you: do you want to open up to a panel, or you just want to leave it there and ahí los vamos
Um, on another day or today?
right now, just for a little bit? Like
Oh,
if you want to open up to a panel
oh,
and
because
see
well, I mean,
what
you
what
can
folks
do it.
up
You know
there
what I
got.
mean? I gotta tap out pretty soon because I gotta call it a night because I gotta, make sure my kids tucked in and get them ready for
What else
school
I'm saying,
tomorrow.
like for like the
Pero,
next 10 minutes, if you want to open it up to a panel, or
fuck it, why
you
not?
got school. All
Nah,
right.
it's all good. Go
So
for it.
that so if anyone wants to come in at least for 10 minutes and BS a little bit, be sure to donate and send a
Yeah.
super chat, man. Come on, man, help a brother out. You know what I mean?
uh,
I bring you all
yeah,
this good content. There's a link. Please don't come in here trolling. Don't come in here disrespecting. Don't come here gangbanging or cussing, because that's not what we're here for.
yeah,
If you have a question, ask it, but please don't come on here with some disrespectful BS. I know
yeah.
Christian want to get in. Christian's a homie. He used to live in the deep. You feel me?
Oh no, no.
But but yeah, man. But other than that, bro, it was good having you on here, carnal.
Yeah, no. Well, thank you for giving me, some, some time. I know you usually go on a little bit later, so I appreciate you, doing this,
So yeah, if you
earlier
ever
than
want to come on
usual.
again, bro, just let me know
Yeah, for
and
sure.
and we could do it
Yeah,
again. I'll do it earlier. Like I said, I don't mind doing it earlier from time to time. You
yeah.
know,
No, I
we got a lot.
appreciate it.
Bet you got a lot of people press the like button, share, subscribe, and
Yeah,
donate all you can. But if anyone want to come
yeah,
on, like I
most
said,
definitely.
there's a link. You want to tap on for a
Yeah,
little bit. If they don't, then fuck it. At least we had a cool conversation.
same one.
Hey, bro, did you know? Did you know Los Mexicanos closed down?
Are you serious? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
I passed by there
That's
the other day, bro.
crazy.
It was closed with a for sale sign in front. Like, what? Los
Damn,
Mexicanos
that's
been
just like
there.
a historical landmark.
Hey, Christian, get on, fool. I know Christian probably got a few questions, but
Yeah.
yeah, that shit's been there for a year. La Borriqueña closed. That's been there
Wow.
since the 1940s.
Yeah.
And you
Well, that.
know that area where Mexicali Roads and La Borriqueña was, that used to
Oh
be
yeah,
the
yeah, right there by North County.
yeah, that used to be the original Mexican neighborhood of Oakland back in the 1940s and 50s and 30s, bro.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and what happened was they tore it all down to build North County and built the freeway and the BART, and that's
Damn.
how it displaced all the raza to the east.
It's like what they did out there in L.A. when the Dodgers came to town, took out
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
people from Chavez Ravine.
yeah.
Damn,
It's
that's
exactly
crazy.
what happened, bro. And no one ever talks about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's hardly ever talked about in Oakland history books, and it's a shame, bro,
yeah,
because that
that's
history
crazy.
has been lost. But yeah, man. Hey, you remember when La Finca was called La Hacienda originally?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So as a kid, we used to always go get our masa there to make tamales and shit. And then like my mom, she used to make tamales to do fundraisers for the church right there on 100th.
yeah.
So we were always hitting it up. I remember whenever we made some for the holidays or whatever, my half I'd be like, no, pues this masa's for St. Louis Bertrand Church and get a discount.
What's up, Sea Dog?
¿Qué onda, Sea Dog?
¿Cómo estás, carnal? Hey, Sea Dog, I was gonna ask you what's going on in Tijuana, bro. I heard it's off the hook out there right now.
So it was doing a little man and girl, right? So it's back to normal, everything's back to normal. We're good, you know? Yeah.
Orale. Yeah, man. I heard they were like burning cars down and burning buses and like all kind of crazy stuff.
For that super chat. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
all back to
gracias for the
What's
super
up, C?
chat, man. Hey,
What's
this is
up, C Dog?
Christian Martin. He's from the town too.
Órale, mucho gusto.
¿Qué onda,
He
Martin?
knows
Mucho
that dude
gusto.
Muerte that he was asking earlier.
Igualmente.
Let me get up
Yeah.
here where I don't make no noise on the kids downstairs. Those niños allá. What's up, C Dog? How you doing, bro?
all right, just chilling, just chilling over here at the pad laying low.
Hey,
Crazy,
I'll be right
crazy.
back. I'll let you guys talk.
Yo, Martin. So how you know Muerte? That's your partner?
Yeah, well, he's from Chavindas. Well, his family, they're from the same town in Michoacan that my family's from. And I pretty much know him, basically all my life.
Yeah, yeah. That's that.
Yeah.
His he's out here with me. Matter of fact, he's out where I'm at right now. I'm in Mexico right now.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, he's out
Yeah.
here. He just got out the pen. He got deported.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he just got out the pen. He's out here with me actually. Right, he's like 15 minutes away.
Okay.
Bro,
Yeah, fucking
his little brother's my
Kiko
best.
and Gabby.
Yeah, Kiko, man, Gump. Yeah, I was HD with him, so we was out there on 75. After they moved
Okay.
you know how they moved from 94 to 75th
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember.
on Sunshine. So yeah, so that
Simon.
look, I was with HD. That's my partner Kiko. So me and Kiko,
Okay.
yeah, we was HD and this shit. So what you were border bird también okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
were border bird with Morte?
Yeah. From the same spot.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. I'm like, bro, you know this bro right here? I was actually just
Yeah.
talking right now.
Órale.
Yeah, he gonna come out. He comes out to my crib every now and then. Yeah, I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he said 9-4, I told Jaime, I was like, Jaime, bro, get on there, Jigs. But he's out doing his thing right now.
Okay.
Told him no. Better.
Yeah, I ain't seen him in a minute. I remember hearing that he was out there in Reno and shit.
Yeah, he after Reno he got locked up. He did 9 years and then got out the pen.
Oh, damn.
Got out. Yeah, he just got out. And Kiko's still in there. Kiko been there for like 20 years already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Kiko been there for like 20. I got out in '07. I went to San Anto and got locked up in San Anto right after Oakland and just got out in '07. We good. We doing better.
Now you like Shawshank
Yeah, for
Redemption out
sure.
there and see what the hell.
Now I'm living that.
What's up,
Yeah,
God's
that's
plan?
what's up.
What's going on with y'all people, man? How y'all doing, y'all? How
Doing it.
everybody
All
doing in the
right, all
chat,
right.
man?
I'm
Yeah.
chilling. How you been,
Nah,
bro?
yeah, man. I was just saying, man. I grew up on 38. You know what I'm saying? And I remember the beast, man. They used to slide it down 38 every time. Hella deep back in the days.
How old are you, God playing? How old are
I'm
you?
30. I'm 39, bro.
Yeah, okay.
And I
Oh,
know, a couple cats though from '94, but the main one was Pelon from DFL.
Okay,
yeah.
so there was two guys from DFL that they called Pelon.
He
One's
was
name
small,
was
short.
Marcos. Okay, so there
He's
was one they called him Pikachu. He was short. He used to drive a pickup truck. He had a brother named Cisco. I think that's probably the one you're talking about.
I don't know, but I mean, man, like with me, like they knew I didn't gang bang. You know what I'm saying? They knew I was a D boy and shit. So
Yeah, yeah.
he used to drive by and shit, and like they to like look at me and just keep going. Cause for me, I wasn't no guy to follow. You know what I'm saying? Like I was never when they used to drive by, I was never like fuck with them, and like they knew that shit.
You
Okay.
you were a
Yeah.
b-boy God playing?
Oh nah, man. I'm from 38. For me, but for me, I
Oh,
was a D boy. I was a D boy with the Morenos and shit. For me, I didn't gang bang,
you
and
were
like
with
they knew that shit.
you know
They
you
knew I
know
wasn't no gang
Al
banger.
Rob, Rob and Al,
Rob who?
Rob and Al, his brother Alex.
No, I know Rob Nava from 38 Low.
Lil Rob and Alex.
Oh yeah, you know what, Lil Rob? I just saw him on traffic today, bro. Lil Rob, I just saw him on traffic today on
Yeah, when I lived,
International. First time I seen him like over 2 years. That's crazy. That's crazy how you just mentioned that.
yeah, I went to school. I went to school with Kenneth. Damn, I'm trying to remember his last name. He lived right on 38 and E14. Kenneth. Shit was his last.
Kenny,
Yeah,
you talking
Kenneth.
about Kenny?
Yeah, Kenneth like 30. Shit, he like
You
30,
talking about Kenny? Like he look like he white, kind
37.
of. Yeah, and his little brother Augie, like that's the one that got killed. You talking about
I'm
his little
talking,
brother Augie, the one he got killed?
I'm talking about the other Kenneth. Yeah, I knew Hyman for 38 and all of them.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah,
Because my boy
yeah.
King
But I was just saying, man, them beasts,
Box on one.
there's beasts, man. Like they just drive by, bro. One
Yeah,
time, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I had a red shirt on some
yeah.
flu shit, right? I don't even know why I even had a red shirt. They stopped and they all looked at me, and I'm sitting right there like, damn. And they just stay in the car, bro. And then
I,
they went down the street and found some homies in the corner on 38 International, and the foot got chased down.
I was kind of relating more to the Martin story when he was saying like, cause I wasn't a Norteño, but and I wasn't a border brother. Nothing. I used to actually chunk them. I chunked them with both sides. Like I chunked them with Spooky from 38. I chunked them with, I chunked them with Choppies from 83rd. little border brother. He's about my age. I'm younger. I'm a youngster.
Yeah.
So I chunked him with both of them. I mean, I was chunking them with both sides. I was like in the middle. I
You
was
was
on
mobbing there. You was like whatever, huh? You was like
five.
one of the mob.
Hey, we was HD, KNT. We was just vibing, bro. We was just feel me before that. Pero
Oh, so was that like a little crew? Like it was tagging crew?
KNT became Norteños. You
Yeah,
feel me?
yeah. Hey, bro, you right about that. Hey, bro,
I
you
remember
know it was SK. SK was around that time.
That yeah,
UNC.
that's cuts in them. That's shortcuts in them. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 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 man. Hey, man, like I know a lot of them cats, bro. 'Cause a lot of them used to be right there in the 30s.
Yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of them then went in jail, and then a lot of them got turned out, turned to homies. Yup.
Yeah, I actually
Hey,
lived.
God's plan.
I
You
know
know my
well.
brother, right? You know my brother, right?
Who's your
Yeah,
brother?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
TJ from
Yeah,
36.
I
You
know
know him.
everybody, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, feel
Right.
me? I was around. Yeah, I've been over there for a while. I know hella cats from out
I
there.
know
Yeah,
Martin might know him.
I went to school with all of them. God plan shit. I went to school with Rice. I went to
Yeah, Rice. Yeah, Jose Rice. Yeah, Puerto Rican Rice.
shit with Beatrice with shit Buckwheat. I went to
Bugweed. Yeah, Bugweed. Yeah, all of them, man. Yep.
school with them. I went to Fremont.
Yep. Yeah, Bugweed. Man, like Bugweed to them, like they were young. Like when you feel me, like when I was around, they were like little young bucks.
Yeah,
They were
yeah,
like squares at that time, bro. You know, and they get older, they smoking weed, hanging around. But to me, they were like normal cats, though. They feel me like they went out there active like that. You know, but they were cool though, cool people. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. His
It's
sister.
not about like hanging around people that's tough. You know what I'm saying? It's about just having cool partners though. You know,
Yeah, his sister
it's not
Beatrice.
about
Yeah,
They
we were.
was cool.
Well,
Yeah,
I used to stay chunking them since shit. I went to Jefferson a little bit for
and
like.
Calvin Simmons too. Remember Calvin Simmons used to be out
I
the
went
hook too.
I went to Calvin.
Yeah, Calvin Simmons used to be out the hook.
Yup, I went to Calvin. You know the Martin OG. They more OGs. You feel me?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You 30. I'm
Yeah,
30
man.
years.
Where C Dog? He tapped out of here, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
C Dog like man, man, these fools from the town, man. They speak on some town shit, man. He said, man, I don't got no reason to be in this motherfucker right now. You know, he
So
feel like he left out a little bit lightweight. That's why I feel it, but it's all good, man. You know, he jumped in here and said what's up.
Nah,
question.
it's all love for Sea Dog, man. He had
Yeah,
me on
it's
his
all
channel,
good, man.
bro. So it's all love.
Hey, no, hey, last time, bro, like I was on Gunner Live, right?
He
And
lived with my
I was
mom
drinking a
for
little
him,
bit.
bro. My mom
I was kind of
from
lightweight
Harlem.
buzz and shit. And I said the N word, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was trying to like kind of like lightweight check me a little bit, and I was like, man, you know, and I kind of like, and I kind of like, got, you feel me? Because you know, it's different. You feel me? From where he at, where we at. So I'm like, bro, it's different, man. You know what I'm saying? You only know if he was out here. You know what I'm saying?
The
Yeah,
Martin, bro.
that's what me and Martin were talking about.
When
Yeah,
y'all were
yeah.
old, when y'all were older, I remember it probably wasn't like that, bro. But I'm only 36 years old, and I grew up with the older fellas that were like, you feel me, 38, 40 years old, 41.
Me too, bro. That's how I grew up. I was 14 growing up with 30-year-olds, 25.
But you know what I
Me
mean?
too. I
Like
knew a
back in
lot of older cats too.
the
Yeah,
Martin,
yeah, yeah.
but God playing in Oakland, nobody ever tripped when you called them niggas, bro.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Nobody was tripping, bro. The
Right.
black call you that, bro. I mean, yo soy mexicano 100%. I'm michoacano. Yo soy michoacano 100%. Soy nacido en México, right?
Me
Pero,
too. I was born in Mexico too, bro.
I remember just growing up in an environment, nobody tripped about that word, bro. Nobody was tripping about no
Yeah,
racist.
like it's all good. You can do that. Yup.
That's what I liked about Oakland, because nobody was racist, bro. Like the Asians was, nobody was racist, brother. The Arabians, you feel me? The Arabs would call
Bruh, to all these guys, when I moved to Sacramento, bro, they almost tripped the fuck out when I went out there saying blood, bro. It was like, blood, why you saying that, bro? Are you a blood? I'm like, nah, I'm from Oakland, bro. They had no clue, bro. Like to them, it was like, what's up, cuz? Why you saying blood? So I was like, what the fuck?
Hey, bro. I went to Mac. I went to Mac West Oakland when I was in high school.
with the
I
man.
couldn't go to you feel me to Fremont High School. I couldn't go Dewey. You feel me? I couldn't go to all these schools in Oakland. I mean, I feel me. So they sent me out the way. Cause feel me, I had like feel me like you feel me like I had low credit score.
Yeah,
So when I went to Mac in West Oakland, I didn't know it was the beef between Mexicans and Cambodians, right?
yeah.
So I'm walking by myself and I look back, I got like 20 Cambodians behind me. Like literally 20 of them. They're like, where you from? I
Okay.
didn't say 38 low or 3800. I just kept it in the middle. I said 38. So I could throw them all, right? You feel
Yeah.
me? I didn't want to say the wrong thing. And then So I just said 38. I kept in the middle.
Hey Martin, what they call you out there, bro?
Hey,
Conte?
bro, the dude was like, he was like, you know, Bubba. I said, yeah. And the man, like the
Oh,
main dude just walked away from me, bro.
Hey,
Like they all walked away. I was lucky that day, bro.
hey, Bubba from 38.
Yeah, Bubba from
Hey,
38.
Martin, you know who chunked him with Bubba on 38? It was Gabi.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I remember that day. That shit
Hey,
was
so that dude, that dude must have met Bubba somewhere in the YA, bro. Cause Bubba, he's a hitter. He ain't no joke.
no Bubba
So
chunked him on 2-9, bro.
if
Because
I mean knowing Bubba, bro, like he gave me a pass, dog. I was like, yeah, go ahead.
hella funny because one time we were beefing with
On Full Hill.
we were beefing on E14 and 2-9, but it's hella funny. Jose right here. We were beefing with Jingletown. We were beef that same day. That same day we were beefing with Jingletown. We were beefing with 38. We were beefing with who else were we beef? We were beefing with Border Brothers all the same day, bro. I'm not lying to you. We were beefing with the little TSGs, the other crews. All that shit happened in one day because people were like, man, what are y'all? Y'all ain't Norte, y'all ain't Sudan. Who y'all, you feel me? Who y'all with? And that shit was hella funny because Gabi got into it with Bubba, got shanked. I forgot who got shanked right here on the side. And then my homie Kiko got into it with some TSGs. And then the Border Brothers came through. And then the Jingle Cast came through. That shit was, man, the town was crazy. I'm
Yeah,
telling
you told me
Yeah,
about
yeah, man.
that. Yeah.
Hey, man, right there on 27, they used to be out there hella deep back in the days, huh?
you.
Them,
Yeah, I
them,
actually still on
them
27.
DFLs used to be right there on 27, right? On
I
Full Hill.
remember that, bro. I
Nah, that
remember
was
when.
POB.
Oh, VOV's right there in the apartments right there.
Oh,
Yeah,
you want
So
to know?
what was DFLs at then?
Like one time we were on Mitchell with
39th.
Oh yeah, you're right. They were on 39. Yup.
on what?
Yeah, 39 too. 39, yep. They used to be
Yeah.
on 39.
You know what's hella funny? One time we were on 27 at Foothill, and the Border Brothers came through. Dino and Rhino and all them dudes from 81st and shit. They all
Yeah.
came through, and we were chilling with the homie Dave and all of them and the KMTs, and we jumped like the car full of Border Brothers. Them niggas came back and started bucking at my little brother. Dudes came back, started bucking. They bucked at my brother. And they bucked at us right there on Mitchell when we were just sitting right there, man. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, man. It was a lot of shit going on, bro. Hey, bro.
I'm
Hey,
so
bro.
Wow.
alive.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro. When Crazy Joe got killed on 38 Park, I was right there.
Yeah, shit is crazy, man. It's
When he
crazy.
got killed at the park, I was right there when that shit happened.
Yeah.
I remember I had seen them about an hour before that happened on E14 because they had the festival that day. It was
Yeah, we
like
was hella deep at 38 Park. We was
we
like
were
about
killing
20
the
deep
one, bro. I remember that. And
when
then
that
I
happened.
remember we went by the park about an hour later, and the park was all closed down. The police had it
Yep.
all closed down.
You already
And
know.
they told me it was the homie that got killed. I was like, damn.
Yeah, man.
Nah.
That was crazy.
Crazy times, bro. I was out there during those times, bro. Those were off the hook times.
Hey,
I don't know
man.
if
Hey,
you
I remember back in the
remember
day.
you was
Remember
out there during that
right
time,
there in the
right?
corner. It was like the little fish store, Connie's.
Oh yeah,
Back in the days
Connie's,
on
yeah,
38 Hill.
by the park. Yep.
I
The bar-
remember, I remember one night it was like late night, bro, and there was two dudes standing right there. And I'm like, man, who's them cats down there, right? Well, anyways, there was plotting on us. They can't call the street and start bugging at us. They're like, yeah, man, we're getting tired. Y'all motherfuckers just hanging around here. They were like, yeah, this is 94 Payaso. He said something like that. His name was Payaso from 94. I don't know. He said something about Payaso. He said, I'm getting tired of y'all hanging out here. That's it. But ain't no one got shot though.
I remember Connie's. I used to buy shit. I used to buy fish when I was little. That's where I bought my first pet hat.
You remember that? You remember that store, Martin? Connie's.
Hey, that was cool
Yep.
little fish store
Pretty
though. Like the hood,
big.
just go in there, fuck around.
I
Spiked it up.
seen it, but the only Connie's I ever went to was in Castro Valley. They had one in
Oh
Castro
yeah,
Valley
there was
too on
one in
Castro Valley
Castro Valley.
Boulevard.
Yeah.
Hey, when
Yeah.
we went to Castro's to that one swimming pool, that big ass swimming pool they had,
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
at Fremont High School? What you talking about?
the Castro Valley, you feel me? A little swim
Oh,
I remember going to a swimming like lake, bro, in Castro
lake
Valley
there,
called
right?
Canyon Lake. I don't know if you guys remember that
Was
spot.
that Castro Valley?
That was in Castro Valley.
Yeah, it was a lake then. I was tripping. It wasn't a pool. The pool was on top of
Yeah.
Skyline where we used to go, like going towards Skyline. There was like a little pool there. Everybody from the town was out there.
Yeah, we used to go there when I was a kid, bro. I remember that spot.
Yeah, no wonder. I was like, man, I remember my mom took me here some Easter eggs on that shit. I remember that. I thought it was a cool lake. Yeah, that shit was cool as shit.
yeah, man.
Kids though, man, that's good, man. I'm happy y'all alive. Happy everybody's alive.
Yeah,
For
yeah, it's
sure.
all good, man. Hey, man, look, I just tapped in for a while, man. I didn't want to hold the time too long, man, cause I know you about to tap out too in a minute, man.
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna tap out
I
myself.
just
Yeah.
want to, you feel me, show y'all my respect. Marty from '94, your
For sure.
story, bro,
Gracias, man.
was great, bro. That was cool though. You know,
Gracias.
you open up to your soul, bro, and you feel me, and like you spin bars though. You know what I'm saying? What you were saying, it was facts.
Right on. Right on.
Everything you were saying was true, bro, about everything. So everybody in the chat don't get it twisted. It was facts what he was saying, man. So because I saw hella bad comments and shit too. So you
We
gonna
have,
get that, bro, from everybody. You know what I'm saying?
we
Oh
say
You
what
man,
gonna
I
get that
could
from
give
everybody.
I could
So
give two fucks about
right,
anybody
that's what
that
I'm saying. That we
you
already
know.
know that. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like like
there's
like
Yeah.
motherfuckers from the
haters.
town, we know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? We don't gotta say too much. You
Yeah.
know,
There's
we
always
already know, man. It's real out here. Just like anywhere you go, it's the same shit. But
Of
like when you from the
course.
town and like you already know, it's different.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know.
I
It's all
appreciate
good.
All right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna get
Mark.
off, and I don't want to leave because Martin said he got to get off. So
Mark,
thank
we're
you
out
guys for
of time.
tapping in. All right,
All right,
Kristen. All
appreciate it,
right,
bro.
Gospel man.
All
All right,
right,
Oakland,
Christian, nice
Tito.
meeting you.
Good, man.
You too. Stay
Well,
safe, bro.
well,
Stay out of jail too.
Joe, be safe,
For
brother.
sure.
All right.
All
All right,
right,
Martin.
y'all.
All right.
All
I
right, have
just
a
want
good
to
one.
leave. I want to leave a last word to Martin. Stick on for a minute. Just thank you for coming on, bro. First time we've really ever talked live.
Oh, for
And
sure.
hopefully I could have you on again, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A ver qué
We can
día.
talk about different subject. I like to keep the town business on my channel. I think that's
Yeah,
my little bias that I like to keep the town business because I want people to understand where Oakland Chicanos and Raza are coming from. You feel me?
definitely.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I would definitely would love to have more people from
Míralo.
Oakland.
Míralo. That's what's up.
Jose, man, ahí estamos. Mañana voy a Ecuador. I'm gonna hit you up when I'm out there. Let you know how Ecuador be.
Bro, hopefully I'll be in Colombia in October, bro. So I hope, man. Hopefully.
Te veo, carnal.
All
Pásala
right,
chido.
be safe in Ecuador,
Órale, be
fool.
safe.
Buenas noches.
Yeah,
Buenas noches.
but then look, that don't mean that I'm gonna exclude people from LA or from SAC or from San Ho.
Yeah,
Everybody's welcome on my channel, man. It don't matter where you from. At the end of the day, I don't. We're all Ross. I don't give a fuck about regional stuff, but I like to keep the town business from time to time. For people could know, bro, because that's the
yeah, for
whole
sure.
point of my channel is Oakland Rasa, for people could
Yeah,
know what we as Rasa in Oakland are doing. You know what I mean, and what our people are doing out here, because this is my
yeah,
hometown, and I would say that's where my bias kind of comes from a little bit.
yeah. Now I feel you because I mean, there's a lot of misconceptions about people from the
Oakland,
town.
yeah,
Everybody thinks it's like this or it's like that, but
or that
you know,
we all want to be black and we're ashamed. I've heard we want to be black and we're ashamed to be Rasa. I've heard that, so it's like no,
exactly.
it's not, bro. I've been to more Spanish speaking countries than most dudes on here, bro. I've been to three
Yeah,
Spanish speaking countries, so it's like, dude. I
yeah,
play Latin music. I listen to more Spanish music than I even do hip hop anymore, bro. So it's like you
yeah,
can't tell me I'm ashamed of who I am, bro.
for sure.
For sure. Well, hey, man, gracias for coming on, and I hope to
No,
have you
gracias a
on
ti.
again. Be safe, man, and
Yeah, for sure.
let's keep it moving. All right, brother,
All right.
for sure. But everybody out there, man, if you want to donate a super chat to the channel or just want to donate at all, you know what I mean? Just help the brother out, you know what I mean? Um, I'm gonna leave a link there, but if you want to donate a super chat, you know what I mean? Help us set out. I'm bringing you this content. One of the only Chicanos, the only Raza in Oakland. You know what I mean? Putting it down. You feel me? For the Raza of the town on YouTube, and help a brother out. You know what I mean? My channel is monetized. Send a super chat. You know what I mean? Or you could donate to Compa V. What's up, brother? Or donate, to the Cash App. But either way, help us out. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this live with Jay. Oh shit, gracias, Christian. Thank you for that super chat, brother. For sure. You see, there you go. That's love right there. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That was Mark 9400 from DP Stokeland. You know what I mean? At one point, the neighborhood where I'm originally from and my brothers are from wouldn't get along with his hood, but we all adults now. You feel me? We got to get past all that gang banging stuff, bro. We're all Chicanos, we're all raza. You feel me? And we got to put all them divisions to the side. You feel me? Who would have thought that a dude from E7 from the 30s and Dubs would have been talking to a dude from the 90s, bro? You know what I mean? In our time, it wouldn't happen, bro. So we're trying to break these bridges, brother. You feel me? Because it's not about that. It's town business. You feel me? All day. But thank you, Julio Solorio. What's up, Julio? Shortcuts, Christian, Esepeda, Northbound. The homie Sea Dog tapped in for a little bit. The homie God's Plan, El Compa V from Deep East Oakland. Hopefully you watch that, or you could go back and watch it afterwards. And yeah, man, Lisa Sell. I see Lisa Sell's on there. And everybody out there, man. I'm just remember the old school Diodora. Who remembers that brand? Like Troop and all that, and Lotto. But yeah, man, just keep supporting, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep my viewer count up. Let people know. Let your sisters know, your brothers know, your cousins know, your tias know about my channel. Come to check it out. You know what I mean? And sing a vallenato. Los caminos de la vida no son como yo pensaba, como los imaginaban, no son como yo creía. Los caminos de la vida son muy difícil andarlos, difícil de caminarlos. Yo no encuentro la salida. Yo pensaba que la vida era distinta cuando estaba pequeñito. Yo creía que las cosas eran fácil como ayer. Que mi viejita buena se me daba que mandarme todo lo que necesitaba y me doy cuenta que tanto así no es. Porque mi viejita ya está cansada de trabajar por mi hermana para mí. Y ahora con gusto me toca ayudarla. Y por mi viejita luchar hasta el fin. Por ella luchar hasta que me muera. Y por ella no me quiero morir. Tampoco que se me muera mi vieja. Pero que si es el destino es así. There you go, Los Caminos de la Vida. One of the most famous vallenatos out there, brother. But today is a sad day for me. I didn't realize that today is the day my dad died back in 2017 out there at Kaiser in North Oakland. Kaiser, Oakland. Unfortunately, my dad passed away there. And it's crazy because I had a dream with my dad this morning. You know what I mean? I had a dream with my dad and my mom about death. And I didn't realize why. And then my sister told me this morning, uh, today's the day dad died. I'm like, oh shit, no wonder I had that crazy dream. You feel me? But yeah, man. Thanks, Dr. Phil. But yeah, today's the day my dad passed away. He passed away in the morning around. It's crazy because I woke up when I had that dream, and it was around 9 or 10, and my dad died around 9 or 10, around that time roughly in the morning. So yeah, I miss my dad, but hopefully he's looking over me, man, and hopefully he's proud of what I'm doing. That's all I can say. You feel me? But he's in a better place. He ain't over here suffering and going through the BS we have to go through. So it's all good. So hey, y'all, I'm about to get off. You guys be safe. Thanks for tapping in. Thanks to Martin 9400 for coming on. You know what I mean? And everybody out there who tapped in today, Richard Godinez, El Goocher, El Compa V, gracias, bro. Um, you know, thank you guys for tapping in, and let's keep. Yeah, I'm doing good, bro. I mean, it's been 5 years. It was a hard. Thanks, Lisa Cell. It was a hard one to get over, but in time you heal, bro. You'll probably never get over it, but you know, in time you heal. That's all I could really say. All right, y'all. Y'all be safe, man, and keep it town business. Chicano power, all power to the people. Rasa power, and let's keep it moving. Stay brown and be proud of who you are. Stay black and be proud of who you are. Hell, stay white and be proud of who you are. Don't be worried. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Uh, and just keep it moving. You feel me? But